So welcome to the vlog. Just thought I'd show you a quick video of us putting the boat in at Meningie. It's sped up a little bit, but we had a hell of a time getting it in. I had my son there helping me, and I would have been stuffed without him. But what we found with the boat ramp is the depth of the water. I'd actually measured it probably 5 or 6 times in previous weeks to make sure it's deep enough, and I sort of measured only halfway down the jetty, and it was about 3 feet, and I thought, yep, that's pretty good, should get deeper. But what we found later on was at the end of the jetty, it's only about 2 feet deep. So you can see here in the video, we had to go backwards and forwards, so we weren't quite too sure what was going on. We sort of worked out there had to be a bit of a sandbar there, and it was either the wheels or the back of the trailer hitting the sandbar, so we had to go backwards and forwards a few times, and as my son was reversing it back, he'd put the brakes on quick and she'd slide off another 3 or 4 feet, and he just kept doing that, and eventually, as you can see here, we get it off. But it actually wasn't until the next day when we were sort of checking it that we found out right at the end it's only 2 feet deep, so it was a bit of a struggle. So here we are, guys. There's Gilligan in at Meningie, and this is where the trip's starting. We're going to be heading, as you've seen in the previous video, across to Coorong, hopefully in the next couple of days when the weather's right. And we're going to go for a bit of a tour around Meningie now before we head off. So I'm just going to take you for a little bit of a tour around Meningie. So great little town. Got lots of corellas around here at the moment, but I've been doing a bit of work down here, a delivery driver for 6 months or so, a bit longer, and love it down here. Love the Lake Albert, and Meningie was a bit of a paddle steamer town where the paddle steamers used to come across from Meningie, across Lake Alexandrina, through the Narrows, where we're going to head in our next leg of the journey, and then they'd come across here and to the jetty, which is now the jetty down at the yacht club. So I'll sort of point you in that direction in a minute. So if you look down there in the distance, you can see the jetty. That was the main jetty back where the paddle boats used to come to. They've just put an extension on the end now, a new bit, and it's also where the yacht club is. And then you come down a bit further into town, we've got just a little public jetty where we've got Gilligan parked, and look out across Lake Albert, and over to the left there, sort of heading into the caravan park area, and then we have the main street of Meningie. Lovely little town.
Old shipwreck.
Yeah. Lagoons.
So it's not where they originally crashed?
No. Probably more than that.
I did read somewhere that this plane was actually circling Lake Albert because it couldn't find a landing spot, and I think it was foggy or something like that, and they kept circling and they were trying to find somewhere to land, and they actually made contact with people in Meningie who were trying to guide them to an airfield, and they ran out of fuel and crashed into the lake. This memorial they've let go a little bit. I think I've got a photo I'll try and put up somewhere when it was first done, but it's all faded now. Bit of a shame. Here's a few photos of Meningie back in 2008 when the drought happened. See, the water is a long way back there. This next photo is the old jetty by the caravan park, which is no longer there. And this is looking sort of from where the bowling club is back towards the caravan park and the old jetty on the left. And in the main street of Meningie, they've got this great tree sculpture of a pelican sitting up on top of a tree with a couple of people holding up a fish. Not too sure what it is. It's probably supposed to be a Murray cod. Looks more like a carp, but yeah, not too sure. But Meningie probably most known for the Coorong mullet. A lot of professional fishermen in Meningie, and they go out to the Coorong, which is about 6 kilometres out that way as the crow flies. And we're going to go out there and check that out. I went out a few months ago when I was working here and put the drone up, so let's cut across to a bit of drone footage of the Coorong. So this is part of the Coorong, just outside of Meningie. Over to the right there is an old fisherman's hut. There's quite a few of those along the Coorong. Other side of the sand is the ocean. So the Coorong runs about 120 kilometres up to the left of me, and I think about 60 kilometres back to the right of me, back to Gilligan and the mouth of the Murray. So it's pretty rocky over this side. The fishermen usually got these little channels that they take to get back out into the middle and start fishing for their Coorong mullet. But I'll stick the drone up and we'll see what we can see. And this is all about South Australia's only known bushranger, John Francis Hegarty. You can pause that if you want to read any of it. And if you ever get to Meningie, make sure you check out the old council chambers. Great old building. They sell a bit of bric-a-brac in there. They've got coffee and tea. You can get something to eat. And we'll go for a bit of a look in there, because I've been told they've got some photos, old paddle boat photos and old photos of the history of Meningie. So let's go in and check it out. Got the Coorong lighthouse. There's that memorial when it was first done. With the boat ramp here, it drops down to about 3 feet, just in there about 5 metres back. But then yesterday when my son came, we put the dinghy in. I got him to measure the water level at the back, and down here it's only just over 2 feet. So it dips down and then comes right back up, stays at about 2 feet for about 10-15 metres. So I was a bit worried about that. I had my brother down here today, and I thought I'd get him to help me, so we turned the boat around and I took it for a bit of a squirt. Went for a bit of a trip out around here to make sure I could get across that little sandbar, and got across no worries. So we've parked it ready to go in the morning and start heading to Coorong, which is straight out there. So that's it from Meningie. Love it. So catch you next time when we start our trip across this lake, which I'm a bit nervous about, but I had to talk to a fisherman today, and he seems to think you'll have no worries. So we'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.